One day, I was feeling nostalgic about my first Pokemon playthrough. It was one of Diamond and Pearl, and I wondered what made it so enjoyable. It was then that I noticed that there are some things that I do now with Pokemon games that made playthroughs a bit less enjoyable. So it is with you that I share 5 tips on how to properly play through a Pokemon game, especially for a first playthrough. But at the end of the day, you decide how you want to play through a Pokemon game. But feel free to follow these tips. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. Let's do this. Tip number 1. Don't spoil yourself and search the Pokemon of the game online. For Pokemon Shield, I already looked up all the Pokemon in the game and made myself a team. But that was a mistake. This led me to neglect other Pokemon that this game had to offer, as I would only catch Pokemon that I put in my planned team. But this ruined every single element of surprise and mystery when playing through the game. It also made my team pretty uniform. When playing Violet, I didn't look at any of the new Pokemon except the starters. This led me to catching so many Pokemon and made my team varied every now and then. I also had so many good surprises after discovering or evolving a Pokemon. Tip number 2. Don't worry about a Pokemon's base stat. Go for the Pokemon you like. There was a time where I only added Pokemon over a base stat of 500, but sometimes Pokemon with lower base stats could be better. If you like a Pokemon, you don't have to ditch it because of its low base stats. Lockix ended up being a key member in my Scarlet and Violet playthrough, even though its base stat total is 450. But I really liked its typing and design, so it ended up being in my Hall of Fame. Tip number 3. Competitive training comes later. You should leave IV and EV training till after you finish the game. This would also not only make the game longer and less fun, but it will also make the game too easy, as you would just one-shot everything with your 255 EV attack, 255 EV speed, 6 IV Protea and Meowscarada. You don't need competitive Pokemon to complete a regular playthrough. It's kind of overkill. Tip number 4. Take your time. You can take detours. Throughout your adventure, there will be some places you won't visit if you follow the story to the dot without exploring. Sometimes when you reach a checkpoint, feel free to check the surrounding areas. Backtrack if you unlock new exploration features. You don't have to speedrun the story and sprint from story event to story event. Enjoy everything the game has to offer. Tip number 5. Don't limit yourself to brand new Pokemon. You can also go for Pokemon you have never used before. It's always cool to use new Pokemon, but feel free to use some old ones that have never been in your team before. I have never used Magmortar until my first playthrough of Legends Arceus, and it really delivered. Anyway, that's all for today, guys. Feel free to take these tips into account if you want, but again, you decide how you want to play the game. But I feel like these tips just make your game throughs more enjoyable. If you want more videos like this, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.